was just going to ask, going back to your surgery, your bypass, what effect did that have on you? I mean, has it had, I would assume it's a very profound effect of life affirmation or a different perspective.
I'm not the same guy who went into that op.
In what way?
Everything's changed.
Not everything.
No, I feel like everything's changed. I feel like I've been reborn into these last years, and as opposed to counting years or whatever I was doing before, I feel like I'm seeing life through the eyes of an innocent child again, and it feels good. You know, I have a lot more energy in my body, and which can be good and bad, because sometimes I can easily overstep the mark right now. But that's part of my life anyway. I like to I like to let a little craziness exist. I think that's what brings some joy into life. So I'm not so afraid of upsetting people, or I like to say what I really mean. And these are qualities that I knew about before, and I thought that I was doing that, but I realize now I was more of a child. I feel like I've moved into these last years, but I'm a baby in it. I'm like a baby old man, you know. I'm sort of learning to adjust to my body and to the perspective of these last years of my life, you know. So it's very interesting, and I've become a better guitar player too.
And I mean,
have you really more feeling?
Yeah, just a little more presence.
Yeah.
More presence. I'm you know, it's just it's such a delicate thing, but I can feel my finger on the strings and on the wood in a more profound way than before, and it's a sweeter sound, and I'm loving to play.
Somebody just said they feel exactly the same. Leon Edwards, that's beautiful. A 4-way bypass in 2003 and felt the same. Now I feel positive, alive, and at ease.
Fantastic, isn't it amazing?
Well, you've literally been reborn.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, every meditation tradition talks about a wisdom of the heart.
Yeah.
We tend to think that wisdom only resides in the mind, and they talk about a wisdom of the heart. And, you know, going back to this bridge between the ancient wisdom and modern science, at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, they have a device. It's called, the acronym is SQUID, a Subquantum Interference Detector, or SQUID. And it shields the human body from all known external radiation and electromagnetics. And they wanted to see, could they detect emanations from the human body? Was there an energy field that all of the healers and psychics and mystics always talk about? Was that really true or not? And this was probably 20 some odd years ago. When they did the first study, what they found is the most powerful emanation from the human body was from the heart. And this is a totally straight scientific article. They really didn't know what they were saying, but when they said but they described it further, they said it's a vortex, and it was a clockwise spinning vortex emanating from the human heart.
Wow.
The chakra. The chakra.
Total chakra.
It's the chakra.
So I thought that was, I thought that was astounding. So you've re-stimulated, reinvigorated, reborn your heart chakra.
Didn't they also find out that there is more information going from the heart to the brain rather than from the brain to the heart? That there's a bigger flow of information in the nerves going from the heart to the brain than the other way around.
I believe that. In many ways, we're finding out that, you know, in Western science, we tend to identify with our brain, cognition, thought. And every system of meditation teaches us we're not our thoughts. Yeah. You know, this is not real. This is all made up. We're creating a reality that we share with other people, but it's not real. And what we're discovering scientifically is the whole intestinal tract system. So they call it the brain-gut connection, that there's so much going on in our entire digestive tract, from mouth to anus, that has 1 trillion cells. So there are more cells in that system than in the entire human body. And the intestinal tract has a profound impact. So what we eat, how we breathe, what we ingest from the air, from foods, has a profound impact on our cognition, on our thoughts. And there's even some research looking now that changes in the human intestinal tract predispose us to Alzheimer's or brain cognitive dysfunction. So we're starting to realize that we are a system. We are really a mind-body system immersed in this beautiful environment. And that unless we understand all of those factors, unless we live fully aligned with those things, we're not healthy. We're just not experiencing our optimal states of health.